Hello, welcome, Capote here. Yesterday I went shopping, so I wanted to show off what I picked up. This is kind of a different video from what I usually do. But I haven't been shopping maybe since early April. I've had the fear of the COVID, but Japan, it recently lifted the emergency thing, and then the prefecture where I live, not many cases at all. So I kind of felt okay about going out. I still didn't eat out. I ate before I left and then after I came back. Just worried about like food courts and stuff. And then I have kind of toyed with the idea of starting a new YouTube channel, just talking about men's style, men's fashion in particular. I haven't started it yet, obviously. That's because I'm very lazy and it'd be a ton of work to make that happen. But this video will be sort of like a test run to see maybe how, like, thinking about the script for the video and editing it and lighting and all that. This is still very shoestring. I'm just using my web camera on the laptop there. I have a nicer camera, you know, I can get some lights and do some kind of professional looking stuff, but for this video at least, we'll just do this shoestring thing. But I picked up first some soap. This is Aleppo Soap from Syria, and this stuff is so old that apparently Cleopatra used it. And I like it. It doesn't smell like super good, but it's got the history, and you know, it's very easy on the skin, and then it's pretty cheap as well. There's a local supermarket around here which will sell it for about $4, but they don't have it very often. When I went into the city yesterday, this is about 600 yen each, about $6 each. I didn't mind spending that little extra. But this is the regular one here. This is 10% laurel and then 90% olive oil. This one is 40% laurel and then 60% olive oil. This one is good just for everyday, like all your body. This one's good for your hair apparently, so I'll give that a try. I've never used this one before. I've used this one a lot. But yeah, Aleppo Soap. There are some interesting videos on YouTube where they show how they make it, and yeah, you can take a look at that. Next, I got some bourbon. That's Maker's Mark. I actually am not a big fan of Maker's Mark, but the liquor store that I went to that day didn't have a really good selection. And I haven't had Maker's Mark in a while. The thing about this is that it's a small batch, so kind of every bottle will be different, and there are hits and misses definitely with Maker's Mark. I've gotten one bottle which just tasted like salt. I didn't like that at all. But I got one, and then I shared it with my uncle, and that tasted more like honey, so that was a good bottle. But whenever I do buy Maker's Mark, I try to get the smallest bottle possible, just in case it is a miss. This one's kind of a miss. It doesn't really taste like anything. It's just kind of got some fire to it, which is fine. But you could buy a bottle of bourbon just for like $10 and get the same kind of taste. This is maybe twice that for this size, so yeah. I'm not too put out by this one, but whatever. For bourbons that I do like, Elijah Craig, that's maybe my favorite. But they recently stopped making the 12-year, and now they have kind of a bottle which doesn't specify how many years it is, which is too bad. I can taste the difference, but it's still pretty good. And then I went to the bookstore. I've been trying to read a lot more the last couple of years, and here's Of Mice and Men. I read this a million years ago, maybe in high school or something. But one thing I've been doing lately is read books again that I read a long time ago. You know, I'm a different person now. I feel like I'm a better reader as well. So to read those old books has been interesting. And I really like Steinbeck. I reread Grapes of Wrath, that was excellent. And then I read his collection of short stories, also excellent. And I love American authors. They're very spare in their language, but very powerful at the same time. I really like it. But yeah, the selection, of course, of the English books at the Japanese bookstore is not that great. It's always interesting to see what they got, because it's like a mix of like classics, and then popular fiction, and then, you know, guidebooks, and then writing on Japan or Japanese. And then I'm pretty sure that they choose those books kind of more aimed at like Japanese people trying to learn English through reading, which I don't think is a good way, because like they often have like Harry Potter books, you know, in there, because everybody knows Harry Potter. But they're not good books to learn on, I would say, because there's a bunch of like made up, magic words in there. And I've talked to Japanese people and they're like, what are all these like made up words in here? And I'm like, I don't know, they just sound funny. And that's not helpful at all to them. But also like Jane Eyre or something, that's not a good book to learn English on. This one might be okay, just because the language is pretty straightforward. And then I also got the complete stories of Truman Capote. I've read his In Cold Blood, and that was amazing. Didn't enjoy it, but it was amazing. If you've read it, you know what I mean. And I saw Breakfast at Tiffany's, which was a terrible movie. But I think it's George Peppard in that movie. He has great fashion, very kind of like 50s, 60s Ivy look. If you can check that out, I recommend that. But I've never really heard of his short stories, so again, I like short stories, I like American authors, so wanted to give that a try. And then I also picked up this. The Japanese love these. They're like a hybrid magazine and book. They call them mooks. But this one is all about how to make dress shirts. And then I've always been interested in sewing. I've worked with sewing machines. Lately I haven't been doing a lot, just kind of like repairs or like really easy stuff, like taking a long sleeve shirt, making it short sleeve. It's been a while since I've made anything. Like, I've made a hooded sweatshirt and like boxer shorts and stuff. But it's always been a dream of mine to make a dress shirt because I really like them, but I'm also very specific in how I like them to fit and like the collars and stuff. And then this is not a shirt about like all like dress shirts like out there. It's just more kind of like an advertisement for this shirt maker, Ryuichiro Shimazaki. I guess he has a shirt making company. But here, like for example, there's some blurbs like about these shirts. Here's some more. Beautiful photography in Japanese magazines, as usual. And then a rundown of different cloths and patterns. Yeah, this is what gets me off. But this book, it also has patterns, so that you can, get some cloth, cut it out, sew it up, make yourself a dress shirt. I don't know how I'm going to make the buttonholes by hand, but... but yeah, this might be fun, and if I could make, a dress shirt that I was happy to wear, that would be really, really something. I don't know if I'm ever going to go through with this. And it's actually hard to get good fabric. I'm picky about fabric as well. But you look at nicer brands, like even like, I don't know if it's nicer, but like Banana Republic, which is a nice version of Gap, even their fabric is not that good. You have to go to like really like luxury brands to get the really, really good fabric. And then just to buy the fabric like in a roll, it's also very difficult for just people off the street. But anyway, yeah, that might be fun to try. And then finally, I got some shoes. I love shoes. They say the man's like top 3 accessories are their shoes, their watch, and their bag. I'm definitely a shoe guy, although I am trying to work on my watch game. But I am a big fan of all white sneakers, so I got these guys. These are the Superstars, but they are the slip-on kind. And then I usually wear the kind of like a retro sneaker, but I wanted to go a little bit more modern this time. And I've never worn one where it's got like the gum or like the mesh all around, so it kind of fits like a sock. I think those are popular for runners or like basketball players recently, so yeah, I tried it on yesterday and it fits pretty amazing. Pretty light as well, must be lighter than leather. But yeah, I love all white sneakers. This is my 5th pair that I have right now. Can't get enough white sneakers. I still need to get a high top. I really like high tops as well. Usually I go for the Stan Smith as well, but Superstar, I thought I'd try that out for the first time, so very excited about these. Okay, but that was my haul from yesterday. Hopefully that was interesting. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.